Hello everyone, and welcome to the Power of Attorney video presentation. My name is Raquel, and I will be your presenter today. In this video, we'll discuss the importance of having a power of attorney on file, specifically a CalPERS special power of attorney. As a CalPERS member myself, I've found that having a power of attorney on file provides peace of mind. I know that if I'm ever unable to manage my CalPERS affairs, the person I've chosen can step in and act on my behalf. I hope that by the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of the importance of having a CalPERS special power of attorney and feel confident deciding whether it's the right choice for you. Before we get to the main presentation, let's take care of some housekeeping items. To provide you with the future reference and make your note-taking easier, we have provided a presentation notes and resources document. You will see the link to the digital notes in the YouTube description box. Please note that due to the large number of participants, while the chat feature is active, we will not be able to respond to member questions during this presentation. If you have any questions, please contact us directly, either by sending us a secure message through My CalPERS, visiting a regional office, or by calling our contact center. Please note that this information is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended to provide legal, tax, investment, or financial advice. If you need advice in any of these areas, please consult a qualified legal, tax, investment, financial, or other professional advisor. CalPERS is governed by the Public Employees Retirement Law, and the retirement law is complex and subject to change. If there is any conflict between the law and the information presented in this video, the law holds control. Let's take a look at today's agenda. In this video, we will cover the different types of powers of attorney and why it's important to have one on file. We will also review the powers you can grant to the person or persons you designate as your power of attorney. Then, we will walk through how to complete the form. And lastly, we will explain what to do if you ever want to change or revoke your power of attorney. There are many different types of powers of attorney that you may utilize throughout your life. The first type is a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney includes a durability clause, allowing your chosen attorney-in-fact to manage your affairs on your behalf, even if you become incapacitated or are otherwise unable to do so yourself. Durable means the authority continues if you lose mental capacity due to an illness, injury, or age. This allows your attorney-in-fact to continue managing your affairs, including paying your bills, managing your assets, and making important decisions on your behalf. It can also help avoid delays and the cost of having a court-appointed conservator to manage your affairs. A durable power of attorney takes effect immediately and remains in effect throughout your lifetime unless you revoke or cancel it. A general power of attorney allows your attorney-in-fact to act on your behalf in certain specific personal affairs. For example, if you're traveling out of the country and have limited communication, you may want your attorney-in-fact to pay your bills or handle your banking while you're away. A general power of attorney takes effect immediately and automatically ends if you become incapacitated or are unable to act on your own behalf, unless it includes a durability clause. A contingent power of attorney only becomes effective when a condition you specify is met. This is commonly used when you become disabled, incapacitated, or are otherwise unable to manage your own affairs. When completing the form, you'll need to identify the name or title of the person or persons who will determine your incapacitation. A limited power of attorney allows your attorney-in-fact to act on your behalf only for the specific powers you grant. They must act within the authority you give them and cannot act outside of those limits. For example, if you're traveling abroad for 30 days and need someone to manage a real estate transaction, you can establish a limited power of attorney that authorizes your attorney-in-fact to handle only your real estate affairs during that time. A limited power of attorney takes effect on the date you specify and ends on a date or event that you choose. A healthcare power of attorney permits your attorney-in-fact to make decisions about your healthcare if you are unable to do so. CalPERS cannot accept this type of power of attorney for retirement transactions. Let's cover why it's important to have a CalPERS special power of attorney on file. The CalPERS special power of attorney is specific to your CalPERS retirement benefits. You may already have a power of attorney, but the language may not apply to CalPERS. We still may be able to accept your non-CalPERS power of attorney, but it will need to be reviewed by our CalPERS program area to make sure it's acceptable. If it's not, you'll have to either revise it to make it acceptable, or you can submit the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney form. It's also important to know that if your non-CalPERS power of attorney does not include a durability clause, we would not be able to honor it if you become incapacitated. Let me share a real-life example of why it's important to have a CalPERS special power of attorney on file. Situations like this happen more often than you might think. The spouse of a retired CalPERS member came to a CalPERS regional office because the bank account used for the member's retirement direct deposit had been compromised. The spouse wanted to update the direct deposit information, but was unable to do so because there was no CalPERS special power of attorney on file authorizing them to make changes on the member's behalf. Because they relied on the retirement benefit as a primary source of income, missing a retirement payment would have created a significant financial hardship. If a CalPERS special power of attorney had been on file, the spouse would have been able to handle the member's CalPERS affairs, including updating the direct deposit information. This example highlights how having a CalPERS special power of attorney in place can help ensure someone you trust is able to act on your behalf when you need them the most. It's important to understand that the CalPERS special power of attorney is limited to your CalPERS affairs. It cannot be used to make medical decisions or manage other assets you may have, such as your bank accounts, real estate, or other personal property. It also becomes void upon your death. For more information, you can find the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney publication on our website under Forms and Publications. Let's look at some of the actions your attorney-in-fact may be authorized to perform on your behalf. This isn't a complete list, but it will give you a general idea of the authority you can grant. Keep in mind that you can also choose to limit the powers you give your attorney-in-fact. Your attorney-in-fact can submit a service, disability, or industrial disability retirement application on your behalf. Elect a retirement payment option. If you don't give this specific authority, but there is a beneficiary on file, then they may only choose the return of remaining contributions option 1 or the unmodified allowance. If you don't give this specific authority and there isn't a beneficiary on file, then they may only choose the unmodified allowance. Designate beneficiaries or change the beneficiaries you previously designated. If you do not grant this specific authority, the attorney-in-fact cannot designate or change the beneficiary. Allowing them to designate beneficiaries will also enable them to designate themselves as your beneficiary, unless you specify otherwise on the form. They can request information regarding your benefit payments once you're retired, They can change your address. They can create or change a direct deposit. Finally, they can change your federal or state tax withholding as needed. As we said at the beginning of this topic, you can limit what your attorney-in-fact is allowed to do. Let's go through the Power of Attorney form, starting with Section 1. In this section, you'll notice that it requests the name of principal. For this form, a principal is a person who empowers another to act on their behalf. If you're completing the form, then this would be you, the CalPERS member. In Section 2, you'll designate who you would like to act on your behalf. You're able to select more than one person. If you designate more than one person, you can have them act jointly, separately, or alternately. If you request that they act alternately, you'll be required to number them in the order you wish. The CalPERS Power of Attorney form is 5 pages, so make sure you write your name and Social Security number, or CalPERS ID, on the top of each page. In Section 3, you need to let us know the limitations of what your attorney-in-fact can do for you. There are 2 choices. Check that the person or persons you name is or is not authorized for each of the specific authorities. First, you must tell us if you give them the authorization to choose a payment option on your behalf that provides a lifetime monthly allowance to someone after your death, even though it may reduce your retirement check to do so. Second, you must tell us if you allow them to designate or change your beneficiary, including designating themselves as a beneficiary. At the bottom, you can provide special instructions limiting other powers. Section 4 allows you to designate the length of time you wish your power of attorney, or POA, to remain in effect. It can start immediately and remain in effect until you specifically revoke it. You can provide a specific date range. This may apply to the example we talked about earlier, where you may be going out of the country. It can begin only if you are unable to handle your own affairs. Here, you designate who makes that determination. Finally, you can elect to have the power of attorney terminated if you become incapacitated. You'll also need to designate who will make that decision. Section 5 provides information to you regarding the legality of the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney for the person creating the power of attorney and the person accepting the appointment as the attorney-in-fact. Your attorney-in-fact can sign in Section 5, but this is optional. Section 6 is your acknowledgement and execution. Your signature must be witnessed or notarized. You're able to have your signature either witnessed or notarized. Section 7A allows 2 persons to witness your signature. Keep in mind, they must be at least 18 years of age and cannot be the persons that you named to act on your behalf. Your second option is to have your signature notarized by a notary public in Section 7B. Once completed, send your power of attorney to us using the address located at the bottom of the last page of the form. Once your power of attorney has been received and approved, your MyCalPERS account will indicate that you have a designated power of attorney. Now that we've covered how to complete the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney form, let's talk about what to do if you ever need to make changes or revoke it. To change your power of attorney, you'll need to complete a new form with the changes you desire and submit it to CalPERS. This replaces the previous version. You may want to inform those who have a copy of the old form that it's now invalid, and you may want to request that any copies of the invalid form be returned to you so that they can be destroyed. You should provide copies of the new form to those who will be carrying out your wishes. How do you revoke your CalPERS Special Power of Attorney? You must submit your signed request to us in writing of your intent to revoke your power of attorney. The revocation will not be effective until it's provided in writing to CalPERS. Include the type of power of attorney on file, the date it was signed, and the names of the attorneys in fact. It is also recommended to submit a new power of attorney form. If you'd like more information about the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney, visit the Special Power of Attorney page on our website, or read our publication, CalPERS Special Power of Attorney, Publication 30. If you have any questions or concerns about the legality of the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney or any power of attorney, consult an attorney. Again, we know sometimes the information presented may be overwhelming, but if you have questions, please reach out to us by phone, secure message from CalPERS, or visit one of our regional offices. This video, like our previous videos, is available on our YouTube channel, so you can come back and catch what you might have missed. Access our YouTube channel through our website, calpers.ca.gov, or directly on the YouTube website at youtube.com/CalPERS. To gain a better overall understanding of your CalPERS benefits and get your questions answered, you can sign up for an instructor-led class that's offered virtually or in person at one of our regional office locations. You can enroll through your CalPERS account. We also offer CalPERS Benefit Education Events, or CBs, both in person and virtual several times a year. You can speak to live experts on several different topics. Visit our website for details on when we'll have another CB. Our presentation today was intended to give you information about the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney. Later today, you'll receive an email with a short evaluation. Please answer all the questions, as it's important for us to get your feedback to help us improve these presentations. Thank you for taking time out of your day to attend this presentation, and have a great day.